Hey there, Algebra 1 students. Today we need to talk about solving quadratics with square roots. So, the main point of this lesson, or the way that we solve quadratics with square roots, is we get the squared thing by itself, and then we square root both sides. Now, if d is greater than 0, so if d is positive, then there are two real solutions, plus or minus the square root of d. If d equals 0, then there's one real solution, it's x equals 0. And if d is less than 0, x squared equals d has no real solutions. So those are the core concepts for this lesson. Let's do some practice problems and show you how this works. So we'll start with x plus 49 equals 0. So you want to get the x squared by itself. So we start by subtracting 49 from both sides. And so you get x squared equals negative 49. Do any of you see the problem? Do you see the problem just yet? No? All right, square root both sides. Oh, there's the problem. We can't take the square root of a negative yet and we can't get a real solution. So this first problem has no real solution. No real solution. It has an imaginary solution, but we won't be talking about that until Algebra 2. So for now, you just need to know that it's no real solution. Okay, x squared minus 25 equals 0. Let's solve for x. We're solving using square roots, so we want to add 25 to both sides. So you get x squared equals 25, all right? And then you square root both sides, and you get x, because the square root of x squared is just x. You get plus or minus, well, what is the square root of 25? That's right, it is 5. So x equals plus or minus 5. There we have two solutions. Okay, not too bad, right? Okay, here's one that is a little bit trickier. We have 81x squared minus 49 equals negative 24. I want to start by adding 49 to both sides. And what's negative 24 plus 49? That's right, it's 25. So we have 81x squared equals 25. Then we want to divide both sides by 81. We're going to leave it as a fraction. We are not going to evaluate that and turn it into a decimal. Leave it as a fraction, please. These 81s cancel. We have x squared equals 25 over 81. Then we need to square root both sides. And when we square root both sides, we're square rooting the whole thing, and it's going to be plus or minus, right? So the square root of x squared is x equals plus or minus. What is the square root of 25? You're right, it's just 5. And what is the square root of 81? It's 9. Okay, so we leave it as 5/9. So x equals plus or minus 5/9. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, here we have 16 times the quantity x minus 3, that quantity squared, equals 25. Our goal is to get x by itself, so actually we want to get the thing that is squared by itself first. So I will first divide both sides by 16. I know, crazy. So that those 16s cancel, and I will have x minus 3, the quantity squared, equals 25/16. Okay, Now I want to get rid of the squaring. So I'm going to square root, and I'm going to square root both sides, because whatever I do to one side of the equation, I must do to the other side of the equal sign. Okay, so the square root undoes the square. We have x minus 3 equals, well, and it'll be plus or minus. What is the square root of 25? You're right, it is 5. And the square root of 16 is 4. So it's, yeah, plus or minus 5/4. And then we still need to solve for x, and so we will add 3 to both sides. So you'd have x equals 3 plus or minus 5/4. Now, 5/4 is the same as 1.25, right? And this, we could find exact solutions here, right? We could do 3 plus 1.25 to get 4.25. And you could do 3 minus 1.25, right? And you get 1.75. So x equals 4.25, x equals 1.75 are your two solutions. Boom. All right, that is it for today. I hope that makes solving quadratics using square roots a little bit easier. We'll see you next time.